Yobe State Government has organized a two-day training workshop for commissioners, permanent secretaries and directors of finance on institutionalization of Yobe State Public Finance Law 2020. In his welcome address, the Commissioner, Yobe State Ministry of Finance and Economic Development, Musa Mustafa, says the training came in as a result of the assent on Yobe State Public Finance Management Law 2020 by Governor Mai Mala Buni on 15th January 2020. In line with the best practices, Yobe State Ministry of Finance and Economic Development, in collaboration with ICPC, organized the training for effective compliance, accountability, and acquaint key finance staff with key principles and tools for effective public finance management functions across the state.
The Finance Control Management Act of 1968 is too obsolete raise current development of financial management ethics and public sector entities. Hence, the relevance of this law, which comprehensively provides for the development of an economic and physical policy framework to regulate the financial management of Yobe State Government, comprising most necessary reforms. Considering the importance of this law, the Ministry of Finance, in collaboration with the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission (ICPC), which is on the office, organized this solicitation workshop to acquaint the stakeholders with its objectives. The collaboration is aimed at eradicating all forms of leakages in public finances. While head of ministries, departments, and agencies are honorable and can be trusted, there will always be a few who, due to greed or selfish, perpetrate fraudulent activities. Under the present administration, remarkable achievements were made due to political will of His Excellency the Executive Governor of Yobe State.
The Secretary to the State Government, Baba Malam Wali, who represented Governor Mai Mala Buni, stated in his speech, says the occasion underscores the commitment of the Governor Mai Mala Buni-led administration to upholding due process, probity and accountability in the reform of its policies for the advancement of the people of the state.
This occasion underscores the commitment of the present administration of Yobe State to upholding due process, probity and the accountability in the execution of our policy and the programs for the advancement of our people. As you may recall, on the 15th of January 2020, I assented to the Yobe State Public Finance Management Law 2020 and other matters related thereto. The law aims to bridge the gaps in the provision of the Finance Control and Management Act of 1958 through provision of reforms like State Integrated Finance Management Information System (SITMIS), Treasury Single Account (TSA), Internal Audit Services, Electronic Data Management System of Taxpayers, among others. The law consists of 18 parts made up of 987 sections. You may agree with me that due to the multiple devastating effects of insurgency in all sectors of our development, no state is in dire need of prudent management of its scarce resources to fund its post-insurgency resettlement, rehabilitation and reconstruction drives than our dear Yobe State. Our developmental challenges have been compounded within the last 12 years of insurgency, and therefore we have to continue to demonstrate our resilience to such major conflicts through optimal utilization of available funds. In this regard, each one of us has a vital role to play in our recovery and development efforts, as the law also provides for the responsibility of persons entrusted with financial management in government. As we are aware, the Yobe State Government has hitherto recorded success in the areas of automation of state accounts, access-based integrated financial management information system (SIPMIS), implementation of international public sector accounting system (IPSAS), implementation of budget reform and execution, as well as reforms in auditing system.
The Yobe State Government, through the Buni Recovery, through education and scholarship, has awarded a 50 million naira scholarship for 10 tutors of the Shehu Sule College of Nursing and Midwifery. The event was combined with the orientation for 11 medical doctors who were recently inducted by the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria after foreign education in various international higher institutions for the past 6 years. Addressing the beneficiaries, the Executive Secretary of the Yobe State Scholarship Board, Dr. Abubakar Kagu, notes that the graduates are to work for the state for the next 2 years before choosing a place to work. Kagu says this is a part of the contractual agreement signed before they were awarded scholarship 5 years ago.
For the magnanimity with which His Excellency Honorable Memala Buni had always received and responded to our recommendations. And you must have heard from Dr. Kundi how the health sector has transited from what it was to what it is. A lot of achievements have been recorded through the years, and we expect more. But all of these things are not a coincidence. They are purposive, they are designed, they are well orchestrated attempts to achieve and succeed. And alhamdulillah, of course, we live in a country of 36 states and a region of 6 states. But it is beyond doubt that the health sector in Yobe State is equal to none in the Northeast. And that is why we'll continue to make investments, we'll continue to put our best, we'll continue to identify gaps, and we'll continue to ensure that everything we do is being carefully designed for the present and for the future. As a background to today's event, there are 2 key components. The first component is we invited our new graduates who had just been inducted by the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria as licensed physicians to practice anywhere in the country. Out of the over 30 of them, 11 of them were specifically sponsored by the Yobe State Scholarship Board for the last 5 to 6 years of their studies.
On the 50 million scholarship to the Nursing and Midwifery College, the Commissioner for Higher Education, Professor Mohammed Munkaila, says the initiative by Governor Buni-led administration is a step in the right direction.
This is one of the first ever scholarship given to the School of Nursing, and it's very significant in the sense that it's going to add a lot of value in our health sector, because on this personal part of their education, they will come back to the state and add value to our education, health sector. Earlier, or I've been saying in different fora, Memala Buni has a fashion for education, a fashion for health, a passion for youth, and a fashion in all ramifications towards the development of Yobe State.
This is just one out of the many he has done for our institution. He has the passion to reposition the health sector. Like we mentioned, the 6 building blocks, and the institution is trying to augment one, that is the health workforce and of course the service delivery. Governor Membala Buni is trying to ensure that all cranny and corners our problems have been solved. And by solving up the problem of the institution, by extension it will call for increase in indexable slot. And of course the 53 healthcare facilities that have been rehabilitated, and then the mandate to have one in each for the political world. The institution, when it is repositioned, it will help greater in fulfilling the gaps for the manpower in all the primary healthcare centers. He has the passion.
His Excellency Honorable Memala Buni is to ensure that the health system is positioned to be functional and effective. And you can't have a functional health system without qualified human resource for health. And the Yobe State Scholarship Board has come in to also sponsor additional human resource, some of whom have graduated from foreign universities, and then they are also training additional 10 tutors from the Shausile College of Nursing and Midwifery.
Some of the beneficiaries and graduates expressed appreciation for the privilege and promise to give back to the state by rendering their services to their respective communities.
This happens is the first time, because I was a student before. I rose up to the level that I am presently one of the academic staff. I have never seen such type of intervention. We have been facing this problem, and a lot of report about the accreditation. They have been mentioning the gap of the teachers, and this intervention from the scholarship, I think it will go a greater way in assisting us, not just the individual teachers in improving our capacity, but the organization toward achieving full accreditation from our regulatory bodies, that is Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria, National Board for Technical Education, and also we are aspiring to start offering BNSC, which the NUC also will need the capacity of the teachers to be improved.
Actually, since I completed my education, 6 years program in a medical school outside the country. And then I knew that my state needs me, and then my community needs my services. So I have to work hard that I see that I can do something to my community in order to develop my community. Since the government has did her own, in order way to want us to come and develop the community. I think it is a good time now for me to render my services to my community for their development and then for the health sector in Yobe State.
The Yobe State Government, through the Ministry of Humanitarian and Disaster Management, has organized a stakeholder meeting for humanitarian actors in order to design blueprints that will alleviate the sufferings of people residing within the Lake Chad Basin region. The State Commissioner for Humanitarian Affairs, Garba Elia, shed more light on the significance of the meeting and how it will assist greatly in stabilizing the region and Yobe State in particular.
You are aware the Lake Chad Basin region has formed the regional stabilization strategy of the Lake Chad, comprising of 4 countries: Chad, Cameroon, Niger, and Nigeria. These regions are affected by the insurgency, and in all the regions there are key states, about 8 states in these 4 countries that are badly affected by Boko Haram insurgency. In Nigeria we have Yobe, Borno, and Adamawa states. So the purpose of this meeting is to prepare the territorial action plan that will support the stabilization process of the Lake Chad. That is the purpose of this meeting.
Yeah, that's why we are all here to get today with all the stakeholders from the communities as well as the government and international non-governmental organizations, international development partners as well, to come up with action plans that will, we feel that if implemented, will reduce the sufferings of the people living around the shores of the Lake Chad. That everyone is committed, everyone makes an input to the document, and we're all in alignment and hoping that, yes, we will walk through it for successful implementation.
Our interview this week is with the Honorable Commissioner for Agriculture and Natural Resources in Yobe State, Dr. Meiro Ahmed Amshi. Welcome to the program, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, agriculture is also one area where this administration is focused on developing. Since the inception of the May Mala Buni administration, what major development has this sector experienced?
Actually, we all know the zeal and the interest the government has on agriculture to develop the agricultural sector, particularly making the subsistence farmers go into commercial farming. And we've gone a long way in doing that. It's something that has to be very gradual, and we'll start focusing on our extension services You know, without educating the farmers, they will not know or have the techniques of venturing into commercial farming. So we have strengthened our extension services. We've now moved from the T&V system, that is the training and visit. We've started focusing on farmers field school model, where you have everything practical on the farmers field under a private partnership system. We invite consultants, engage the farmers that are interested, because most importantly, one has to have interest in doing whatever he or she wants to do. Those farmers produce the crops practically, make the research, and they analyze and give us the results. That is the practical aspect. I don't mean the statistical analysis. For instance, we had varietal trial for rice, and the farmers could tell you that this variety grows taller, this variety is shorter, and when they had flood, they experienced flood, they had advantage of having the taller variety because flood did not really affect it. The farmers were able to tell you the irrigation regime, that is the watering regime, the quantity of water to apply for each of the plots, and they can now assess that is water management aspect, and they use that by using the quantity of fuel in their water pumps. Once it finishes, they know that this quantity of water will be sufficient, or if it's half, depending on what variety they grow. And we've not stopped at rice only, but there are other crops: millet, sorghum, sesame, and maize in some part of the state. These, which are our staple food, and we want to make it commercial. We're able to look at the seed production aspect. We have the community-based seed initiative, that is a private sector, and in collaboration with the National Seed Council under IFAD, we were even able to have a seed processing plant at Dazigo in Nigeria local government area, where it's owned by the farmers themselves, and individuals that are interested to see their seeds are processed, they bring those seeds and it's being processed. Those farmers that are managing it, they are also engaged in seed production, and it's a quality seed. We are assured of its quality, and they produce it and sell it to other farmers.
Okay, livestock, we know Yobe State, they say, has the largest concentration of livestock. How commercially viable now is livestock production in the state to ensure that as this asset, or this huge concentration of livestock, is also turned into profit for not just the government, including the farmers?
Actually, we are all aware of that. The government is intending to have livestock market, the standard type, and we all know that it's on record that the Potiskum market here in Yobe is one of the livestock, or the largest market in West Africa. Once you go there, you will testify it yourself by interviewing people that bring their livestock far and near, and even from bordering countries. Secondly, the government is now looking at the possibility of establishing livestock development centers. We've acquired 100 square kilometer land in each of the senatorial districts, one at Jakusko Nasari Grazing Reserve, the second one at Badegana Bursari local government area, and the third one at Guruguje in Fika local government area. And on those livestock development centers, we intend to provide all the facilities to enhance the production of quality livestock, and even the byproduct of those livestock will now be used for other purposes like the hide and skin from those livestock. And when I mention of livestock, it covers wide range of different animals: cattle, sheep, goat, camel. We all have it in Yobe State, and even donkeys. They are also important. And we are also looking at the aspect of the horses, where we all know how important they are, particularly in the Emirates, with the emirs and others. And we provide as much as possible veterinary services to all the livestock we have in Yobe State, those that we can reach.
Okay, there's this concern around the country that there's this generational gap between farmers. A lot of farmers are those that belong to the elderly age group, and then the younger ones are not getting into farming, and it's going to get to a time when maybe the old ones get really old and can't farm again. It might cause a food crisis, food shortage in the country. In Yobe State, how are you trying to bridge that gap to make farming attractive to young people?
Actually, what you said is really what is happening in the agricultural sector, not only in Yobe State but throughout the country. And knowing the problem, we are now trying to make agriculture as attractive as any other business, because that is why we are emphasizing on extension services. We are emphasizing on providing quality seeds or quality breeds of livestock to the farmers. We are emphasizing that those extension activities will now focus on the new technological know-how innovations that could enhance production. And also, agriculture, particularly crop production, is a back-breaking activity during weeding. We are looking at the possibility of mechanizing agriculture to make it attractive to the youth, and not only the youth but including the women, because most of those activities, particularly processing, is the business of the women. And those women or the girls shy away from it because it's labor intensive, and we are looking into that to see how it can be mechanized. And we consider the value chain of all the agricultural commodities we are producing, so that the farmers can get value for their money.
All of these interventions have been put in place. At the end of every farming season, when you look at the yields from all the efforts of the farmers, has there been any improvement, or how do you measure yields at the end of the farming season to know if the interventions of the state government has achieved its purpose?
The way we assess the yield is normally by the tonnage, the number of bags. For instance, the rice I was telling you, under the water management and also the varietal trial we had on the farmers' field, there was a difference from 2 tons to up to 5-6 tons. Wow. You can see there is a great increase in yield just by educating the farmers how to manage the water, the resources they have, how to have the improved seeds. So these are some of the things we consider. And also in terms of livestock, there are livestock that are highly prolific. Without giving them the necessary care, medication and all whatnot, you can see they can have, maybe like the goats, they may have only just one issue in a season. Yeah. But with the care and the new technologies provided to them through extension, you can see they may have up to 2-3 at so these are some of how we assess.
All right, thank you very much. Well, that's all time of permit for now. That's our conversation with the Honorable Commissioner for Agriculture and Natural Resources in Yobe State, Dr. Mero Ahmed Amshi. Thank you very much for watching.